I'll make it short. Please provide mature answers and not the typical male perspective. My wife passed away a couple of months ago from cancer. Her friends have been reaching out. One really good friend wanted to grab a drink for our birthdays. I decided it wouldn't hurt anything and went. I had an amazing time. It felt so natural. Everything about her tells me we are compatible. Both of us are in our early 40s. She's never been married, and I don't know why. She just hasn't met the right guy. There are two things to consider. She is my late wife's close friend, so I will definitely hear about it. Second, she dated my best buddy 10 years ago for about a year. She broke up with him because it just wasn't going to work in her eyes. I understand why she did. He didn't take it well. So, I don't know what to do. I am pretty sure I am not fully ready and probably not making the best decisions. I do know this. She is amazing and very attractive. She is a great woman, and I could see her being part of my young kids' lives. I think we would be great together. Any thoughts? Story 1. She is not going anywhere, so you do not need to do anything immediate or rash. Time is on your side. You can be honest and straightforward with her when you are ready. Do not overthink it. Your own time means your own time, not what others believe it should be. It is your choice whether you decide to act or not. Do not let others' judgments make you doubt yourself. What matters is how you and she feel, not what others think. Just know that you do not have to rush your decision. Story 2. If you move forward with this now, the majority of people will assume you were unfaithful to your wife with her close friend while she was still alive. They will judge both you and this woman negatively, impacting both of you and your children in the long term. Additionally, shared grief can affect your perception of someone. If the relationship does not work out, your children could lose a close friend of their mother's who might have been a significant support for them in later years. Take a step back and maintain some distance between the two of you for at least a year from the date of your wife's passing. If at that point you are both still interested, proceed with caution and keep it private until you are absolutely sure it will work. Story 3. I believe you already know what you want to do and are seeking reassurance. Perhaps guilt is contributing to your feelings. How old are your children? And why do you think they want a new woman in their lives when their mother passed away just 2 months ago from a serious illness? They may not want that change. Take things slowly and avoid involving your children with someone you are just beginning to get along with. You are still in the early stages of grief. Story 4. You need to slow down. A couple of months? If not for your sake, then for your kids' sake. It's important to have some emotional awareness. Story 5. It may be too soon for you as you are still grieving. Additionally, it might offend her if she is acting out of respect for the deceased. Story 6. Be careful with the Mom 2.0 concept. Could easily go the wrong way for everyone, and your children should be your primary concern. People may judge you if you jump straight into a relationship with this woman, but if it develops over a couple of years, few people are likely to care. For now, you should take it slow. Your wife's death is still recent, and your priority should be helping your children navigate through this time. Story 7. 1. It is too early to be dating. Take at least a year to be single and adjust. It does not matter how attractive she is. 10 years ago should not matter to your friend, especially if it was only a year. Story 8. There are many other people out there. Trauma bonding can be appealing at first but will eventually fade. I would find it very unsettling. Consider Joe Biden's sons and their widow. Story 9. Come on. Couldn't it be any other woman? Why her? Give yourself more time. Perhaps with time you would realize it's a big mess you are about to create with her. And for your wife's memory, I would advise against that route. I would probably feel betrayed if I were your deceased wife. It seems like her friend just couldn't wait for her to pass so she could have you to herself. Take it easy. That woman might not even be worth it after all. You can find another woman if you really need one. Story 10. Your wife passed away a couple of months ago. I'm sure this friend did not approach you with the intention of starting a new relationship. I am surprised that you might already be thinking about a new relationship. Allow yourself time to grieve, and if you're not willing to do that for yourself, consider giving her some time to grieve as well. Story 11. Your wife passed away a couple of months ago, and you are already considering being with someone else? What is wrong with people? Story 12. I'm positive that I will get downvoted for this. Please don't. I'm sorry, and I understand why people may be upset with God. I used to feel the same way, and I still get frustrated sometimes. You could always just talk to him and ask for some guidance on where to go from here. This could involve discussing whether to talk to your best friend and when. Just communicate with him like a friend. Remember, he loves you dearly and knows what's best for you. If you ask for what he knows is best, be prepared for any answer and know that he acts in love. I'm sure that your wife loved you dearly and you loved her. Things are clearer to her now, and she wants the best for you and your children. She wants you all to have peace and love in this short life. I suggest taking it slow, asking God for guidance, not being too hard on yourself, and seeing where he leads. If you want to talk more about this, message me. We can chat anytime. Much love, stranger. Story 13. I am very sorry to hear about your wife. Please show some respect for her. She is the mother of your children and has left us too soon. It has been a couple of months, and this is not the right time. Story 14. Part of me thinks you haven't gotten through the entire grieving process, and until that happens, you should focus on your mental health. Additionally, you have the kids to consider. Dating so quickly after your wife passed can raise serious questions, such as, did he really love her? Or is he glad she's gone? On the other hand, it wasn't just your wife battling cancer. You were fighting too. There must be some relief in finding someone you can open up to and be emotionally intimate with, not to mention addressing physical needs. Proceed with caution. If you haven't already, consider enlisting the services of a counselor. An objective perspective can help you see things you might not and guide you through this process. Best of luck to you. Story 15. My dad married his late best friend's wife after my mom died, which is quite ironic. Crystal, my stepmother, lost her husband to suicide in September 2017, just a month before my mom passed away in October 2017. My dad was best friends with Crystal's late husband for over 15 years. Crystal and my dad got married in March 2018. I believe they both should have taken more time to grieve, but I understand they did not want to feel lonely. If there is chemistry, why not explore it? Story 16. If you like her and she likes you, go for it, I guess. I personally don't date any of my close friends' exes, or if I did, I would ask them if they mind first. But that's for my own comfort. So if you don't have an issue dating a friend's ex, go for it. Just be aware that if your friend decides to break contact with you, it is unlikely you will be able to fix that, even if the relationship with the woman goes nowhere. So my thoughts are to do whatever makes you happy and what you won't regret if the worst possible outcome happens. Story 17. What I would do in this position is not necessarily what I would recommend that you or anyone else do. I tend to be loyal to my friends almost to a fault, so I probably wouldn't allow myself to overlook those technicalities to pursue anything further. You are both grown adults capable of making your own decisions on the matter. You are also in a unique position where the other person fully understands everything you've gone through, which you might not have with most other people. If you are both okay with it, I don't see how it would be a huge issue. Just continue to spend time together and see how things progress naturally. Don't rush into it. Allow it to develop. That would be my advice, but as always, do whatever you feel is best for your situation. Story 18. Dating a friend for 1 year a decade ago isn't really relevant, but the relationship she had with your wife is. Take it slow. Do not rush into anything. Allow yourself time to grieve, as this is one of those stages. Story 19. In my opinion, it is just too soon to start dating. Reach the 1 year mark and then reassess your emotional state. Good luck, and I am sorry for your loss. Story 20. It is early in your recovery process. Cancer is usually a slow process which may put you further along, but you need time to figure out what you want the rest of your life to look like. You should enjoy the friendship offers from her friends and others as they come up, without letting anything get too serious for a while. Be straightforward about that to reduce opportunities for anyone to get hurt. Historically, it was considered normal and proper to mourn for 1 year, maintaining casual friendships, and then start living your next chapter. Although this was before the concept of friends with benefits was widely acknowledged, our minds have not really changed over many centuries. Therefore, the practice of waiting a year before pursuing anything serious was probably wise and may still be applicable. Story 21. Honestly, you shouldn't be dating anyone right now, especially not the ex of a friend. Her being your wife's friend isn't the end of the world, but the rest is a no-go. Story 22. If this person is truly your friend, ask them first. If they are not a friend or you do not care about their feelings, then proceed as you see fit. Personally, I do not date my friends' exes because it is not worth possibly losing a friendship over dating someone. There are plenty of people out there if you put yourself out there. Story 23. Op's eagerness and self-convincing have clouded his ability to include every relevant word in a sentence. Story 24. That's tough. On one hand, women are often attracted to a grieving man. On the other hand, it could backfire. You're playing with fire. I'd suggest finding someone outside your wife's social circle to date because her friends may be drawn to you since your wife spoke highly of you. They may want to be around you now that she has passed away, and for your own reputation, you should be cautious. Act as if your wife is still alive and away on a long business trip. Just because she's gone does not mean her friends are no longer loyal to her. There may be a reason her friends are still single. Story 25. If you're interested, I've been in a similar position. I let my best friend know that I started talking to one of his ex-girlfriends, but I told him that if he wasn't comfortable with me taking things further with her, I would cut ties because I respected our friendship. He appreciated that I was upfront with him and didn't mind if I dated his ex from years ago. So, respect your friend and be honest about the fact that you started talking to his ex. He will likely appreciate your honesty. It's extremely disrespectful to sneak behind a friend's back rather than being upfront with them. Story 26. I would say wait a little or tell her you are interested, but take it really slowly. Take it from me, I am a widow as well. My brain was not okay for the first year after my husband passed. I didn't realize it until a year later. I thought I was handling the grief pretty well, but there were parts of my brain that were offline and didn't come back online for around a year. I did start a relationship during that time, but we had been on the tail end of our relationship for 2 years previously. When he passed suddenly at work, I had already been dating my partner for 2 months. My partner and I dated casually, and we were open for the first year, which helped us not get too serious too quickly. If she is that amazing, she will understand and take it slow with you. Forget what others think as well. You are both in your 40s. There is a reason she was your wife's best friend. Life is too short to worry about what others think. Chase your happiness, but take time and seek counseling to grieve. You owe it to yourself and to her to be your best before you start something long-term. Story 27. It's early, but it's okay to take it slow and see where it leads. You had a grieving process before your late wife passed and a different one afterward. Companionship is important, and a part of the spark is the need for physical contact. Not necessarily sexual, but just physical touch. It's okay to pursue this, especially since you mentioned she has already expressed interest. If anyone judges you, they aren't worth your time. Focus on what makes you happy, especially if she is good to your kids. Story 28. Rebound might not be the best way to start if this is a real opportunity, so be aware of that. Aside from that, you fulfilled the oath, and you may be surprised how much time people worry about what others think and how little they focus on what others are doing. Starting slowly is what I would recommend. Story 29. The loss of your wife requires a significant amount of time to process. Even if you believe you have processed it, you may not have fully done so. A considerable amount of time defined by you should pass. Regarding the opinions of others, they are not a consideration. People will cope in their own way, and that is acceptable. The exception might be your children. They will likely wish for you to find companionship, but they will need time to process the loss of their mother. Story 30. I'm sorry for the loss of your wife. This is devastating for you, your children, and your family. Perhaps it is best to let things unfold slowly for now. Story 31. I'm sorry for your loss. Please be patient. My son is a cancer survivor. It was a physically and emotionally draining experience, and it took a long time for the dust to settle. I can only imagine how much harder the experience would be with a loss like yours. For what it's worth, my best friend's mother died of cancer, and his father ended up marrying a long-term family friend. Story 32. First, my condolences for your loss. All I can say is that life can be short. You never know what might happen, and whenever you get a chance at happiness, why deny yourself? Touching on some of your points, yes, of course you will hear about it. Some will be supportive, some will be horrified, some will feel sorry for you and think it is just a phase, while others will think it is not right. What I mean is that everyone has an opinion, but the only ones that matter are yours and hers. Ask yourself, what would your wife say if she could? Her husband, the man she loved, has a chance at happiness. Maybe it is just grief and you are drawn together to get over it, and it lasts however long it lasts. Maybe it lasts forever. You never know what the future holds. Do you think your wife would want two people she cared about to be unhappy? People will talk and things will be said. Who really cares? They are not your or your wife's friends. Excuse my language, but forget them. It is none of their business. Regarding the fact that she dated one of your best friends for 10 years, if he is truly a good friend and is not still in love with her, then I doubt he will mind or even care as long as you are happy. Yes, the so-called bro code is for those who are unable to process real emotions and are still living in a world of beer, parties, and sports. Real brotherhood among men does not include ex-girlfriends or women they no longer date. Real friends who care, understand, and eventually accept and support your decisions. If they don't, then they are not real friends. Yes, I agree that you may not be making the best decisions, but when do we ever? Maybe you are making the perfect decision. Only time will tell. Upon reflection, I may have been a bit hard and cold about your friend. It is a tough situation. Is your relationship one where you can talk openly and work through it as friends do? Or will it escalate? But I still maintain my stance on the bro code. Comes down to one thing: what is best for you and your family right now? And tomorrow it is the same question, and the day after that. Take it one day at a time. Just do what is best for you and your kids. That is all that really matters. If this woman, in your opinion, is going to be good for you and your children, then you already know the answer. Anyone who cannot accept it has their own issues, not yours. It would be nice if you and your best friend do not fall out. But is he going to be great at helping you raise your children? Or is he simply your wife's best friend? You clearly love your children, and they are the most important consideration. What is best for them and for you is what matters. Everything else is irrelevant noise and distraction. This is just one man's opinion. I cannot put myself in your shoes or pretend to know what you are going through. I just wish you and your family love from a stranger on the other side of the world. Story 33. Don't do it. I have been in your situation. I waited a year before dating or any other form of pairing. You need time to process your wife's death before you start involving other people in your life. Story 34. A straightforward answer for you. You like who you like, you choose that. You do not choose who you love, but you can choose how you act and what you do about love. You are not being unfaithful or dishonest, as far as I am aware. Personally, I would not date a friend's ex because it could cause drama. However, it has been 10 years, and if he is a good friend, he will understand and even encourage you. It might be a bit weird, but realistically, it's fine. The only reason it can be dramatic is if it is too recent after the breakup, because then people might think about cheating that could have been going on, or if the friend is still hung up on them. Go for it. That said, it has been a few months since the death of your wife. Wanting intimacy to feel happy again is normal, but it is a distraction, not love. Maybe take some time to deal with your feelings about your wife's passing first, out of respect for her, this new woman, and for your health and well-being. I cannot emphasize enough that what you are doing sounds okay, but force yourself to go slowly. You need time. Best of luck. Story 35. Slow it down. Take it slow for now. A couple of months is not much time. Your mind will be much clearer in a year. This doesn't mean you shouldn't date her. Just take it slow and be discreet for now. Story 36. One thing a wise old friend told me is to watch out for the first woman who brings you a casserole. This wasn't a casserole, but she set you up for a date. Grief for your wife will persist. Life and desire will continue. Take your time and keep your eyes open. Story 37. You will have a lot in common regarding shared values, priorities, and experiences. Enjoy each other's company as you wish. I suggest going with the flow and communicating as best you can. Stay open-minded and have fun. Story 38. It is too early to make life-changing decisions. It has only been 2 months. At this point, I would only have platonic dates with this person. I am sure you appreciate her company. You have many people in your life to consider, including your young children. Are you seeing a grief counselor? Story 39. If you're not hung up on your former love and are able to pursue a romantic relationship despite her passing, then go for it. Everyone deserves to be happy. Story 40. To me, life is too short to play it safe and worry about what others think, especially when no one is being hurt. Story 41. To begin, I'm very sorry for your loss. Regarding the advice, my wife's mother passed away when my wife and I first started dating, also from cancer. Her father began dating about a year after her mother's passing. My wife is a mature, down-to-earth woman. She was in her early 20s when her mother passed. The dating did not sit well with her or her brother. They both thought it was too soon, that their father was rushing into things, and that it felt like he was trying to replace their mother. That last point seemed less mature than I knew my wife to be at the time, but her mother had just died, and people grieve in different ways, rightly or wrongly. Things worked out over time, as they usually do, but it definitely made my wife's processing and dealing with her mother's passing harder than it needed to be. I read your comments regarding loneliness, and I also read the well-written and insightful remarks about how it may be beneficial to navigate this with your wife's friend. I agree, and I think it would be good for you, but I want to offer some perspective on how it may affect your relationship with your children. I'm not aware of your relationship with your children, and I'm not suggesting that your situation would mirror my wife's family's if you started dating that quickly. However, you should definitely consider how your children would react to you dating anyone, especially a close friend of their recently deceased mother, just months after your wife's passing. Story 42. My wife passed away a couple of months ago from cancer. You are walking wounded. You are not in a position to commit to anything or make any important decisions with a gaping hole in your heart. Story 43. It seems you are seeking validation for a decision you have already made. The best advice I can provide is that you may not gain favor from others by doing this. The morality of the situation is questionable. If you are unconcerned about others' opinions, it may work out for you. However, be prepared to face ostracism as a result. Story 44. Smoking hot, in her early 40s but never married. I refer you to the crazy hotness ratio from How I Met Your Mother. Story 45. Go for it. It has been too long for your buddy to feel legitimately angry. If she and your wife were friends, then she likely shares similar values with your wife, and since you are vetted, she knows you are a good person. Don't feel bad about it. If your wife loves you, I am sure she would want you to be happy. Story 46. I would date her. You are not doing anything wrong by seeing this wonderful lady. It is tough to find a good one. Story 47. Take it slow. Just because your wife recently passed does not mean you should rush into anything. However, at the same time, do not let anyone tell you it is too soon. My wife passed after being sick for 3 years with Alzheimer's, and some people thought I did not wait long enough to date again. Everyone is different, and everyone grieves differently. Story 48. Here comes an unpopular opinion, but I truly mean it with all the goodwill in the world. If the potential is actually there and not just a projection of your yearning or grief, I think you should go for it. Compatibility after losing someone dear to you can often be non-existent. If you feel an emotional or sexual spark with this woman, I believe it's something you are duty-bound to explore. I believe in God. Many people do not, and that's fine. However, to put my point across, this could be God placing this woman in your path as a way to move forward. Keep growing, and keep loving, albeit differently and without replacing your late wife. May she rest in peace. I think golden opportunities in love, companionship, and relationships must be taken. I have no idea whether things would work out, but that's what chatting through feelings is for, with her, friends, and family. Bear in mind it may be very difficult for her, and she may not want to be serious with a man who is grieving. Maybe you both want it, but you might need to put it on hold for a year. I don't know what the exact prescription is, but I believe you should take the chance. Life is too short. There are moments for risk-taking and courage. Sometimes, choices that go wrong do not prevent us from testing the waters. Good luck. I'm very sorry about your wife. My direct messages are open anytime if you want to chat about anything. I truly mean that. Story 49. Your wife kept her as her best friend for a reason. Go slow and don't rush in. Talk to her about your feelings and how you would like to proceed. This may only be a best friend situation. Story 50. I will share what I told my mom after my dad passed away. You fulfilled your vows until death. This happened through no fault of either of you. I doubt your wife would want you to go through life unhappy and alone. While healing takes time, if your wife's friend is offering to go out, then consider going out as friends. Take the time to know each other without rushing into anything, and see if you are compatible. Remember, if she is your wife's friend, she is also facing her own struggles. Story 51. Go for it. There is no genetic reason for being with one partner for the rest of our lives. As people grow and change, so do their needs in a partner. Your significant other has passed, and that is terribly tragic for everyone. However, I don't see a reason why your new significant other couldn't be someone you connect with. It doesn't have to mean marriage. It can simply be a new friendship. See where it leads. I would be cautious. There may be some trauma you are holding on to, and it will likely take time to identify it and work on it. You are probably addressing your feelings right now as well. Your significant other would likely want you to be happy. I am newly divorced, which is not the same, and it has taken me time to realize who I am after that 18-year relationship. I am certainly not the same person I was 20 years ago. Move forward. Mourn. Have fun. Learn. Grow. And find someone to share your life with. You have my permission to be kind to yourself. Best wishes. Story 52. I would take it slow. Healing takes time. Children's feelings should matter too. It might be tough for them to see you with a new person so soon after. Best of luck. Story 53. If neither of you have plans to move soon, she will be around for a good while. Wait it out. Get through the grieving process and don't be hasty. Could be and likely is too soon, and if you start now, it can easily go wrong. If you wait, she will still be there and you will be more ready. It seems there is more to lose by rushing than by waiting. Story 54. Too soon. Stay single for a year and then start thinking about this. It sounds like you need to keep in touch with her for sure. Story 55. A couple of months have passed, and romance would be the last thing on my mind. It's great having someone so supportive, but I need to be careful in making sure she knows I'm still mourning and healing if anything were to develop in that direction. It would not be a healthy situation. With any luck, she is aware of all this and is just being a kind and loving friend. Story 56. So you are a few months widowed and are already planning to make someone part of your children's lives after one night out. I do not know, but this does not sound like a great idea. In your other comments, you are still grieving. Do not put yourself under extra emotional weight just for fun. Focus on yourself and your children for a while until the world feels a bit more balanced. Story 57. Just be her friend for now. If the two of you decide to be together later, you will be better prepared to be open and available. I lost my wife in June. I have had several female friends help or offer to help me. I am not trying to get married again anytime soon, but I do appreciate their company. The ones who should be with me will still be around when I am ready, if I ever am ready. Find out if you even like each other before you mistake attraction for love. Story 58. Just be honest and lay it out for her. If you both like the pros more than the cons of a relationship together, then that's great. But if you can't come to a win-win situation for both of you, then maintain the friendship you have. As for your friend, that was long ago, so be honest with him too. People like us can move on. Go for it. You don't deserve to be alone. You deserve to be with someone, and I'm sure your wife would agree. Story 59. To be frank, if she feels the same way, she is probably going to do everything she can to change your mind about waiting. I think it's too soon. But when she shows up looking amazing, smelling good, and being comforting, will you be able to hold back? I'm not saying she is doing anything wrong or trying to manipulate you. Sometimes the right woman throws on sweats and a hoodie and looks better than ever. Story 60. I'm really sorry about the loss of your wife. It seems as though you are going to take your time deciding where your relationship with your wife's friend goes. I suspect your wife saw many good qualities in her that would make her a suitable long-term partner for you. As you know, no relationship is easy, and the challenging aspects take time to emerge, even with the most compatible person. If you decide to explore a romantic relationship, it will likely benefit both of you to understand what was not ideal in your past relationships. Regarding your friend, all you can do is be upfront with him. If you're interested in her, let him know directly. If things get serious, inform him as well. Hopefully, he will be happy for you, regardless of the path you choose, and will be there for you before you decide to pursue any option. Men do need other male relationships. Story 61. I would say go for it, but please give yourself time to grieve. Even talk with the woman and tell her how much you like her, but it's only been a couple of months since your wife passed. Story 62. Everyone is saying to give yourself time to grieve and reconnect with yourself. Do not dismiss her. She likely had feelings for you for a long time but chose not to act on them, which is admirable. Honestly, your wife would probably approve if they were truly great friends. Take it slow. Story 63. Patience, slow and steady. There is no rush. I do not feel any moral or ethical objections. Just take your time and allow yourself to ease into everything. Story 64. I would ask your best friend and then decide what is more important to you if he doesn't like the idea. Story 65. I think that is too soon, but I understand that everyone is different. My husband passed away 3 years ago, and I personally cannot look at another man in that way. Story 66. I'm so sorry for your loss. How are you coping? Grieving is complex, and I hope you are receiving emotional support. I feel for you. If I can offer some advice as someone who has experienced a similar situation, it is to give yourself time. Focus on yourself and don't rush into anything. Allow yourself to enjoy life. Story 67. I am very sorry for your loss. My wife had an aneurysm and a subsequent brain hemorrhage. She did not die but is now permanently mentally and physically disabled. The impact is significant. I have had some women from my past reach out. I have a different decision to work through. However, I truly understand the loneliness. For months feels too soon. I would take things very slowly in your position. I am sure she understands. You do not want to add feelings of guilt to your grief. Story 68. Just be good friends for now. Enjoy her company and let her enjoy yours. There is nothing wrong with relating to someone who is experiencing the same loss you are. However, you need time to process the grief, and so does she. I have seen this many times in my life. Best friends, partners, or exes of a deceased person getting together quickly after the death. Allow yourselves to heal and let her friends and family heal before moving forward. Filling a void with another person before it is processed can lead to complications. Story 69. I know the loneliness feels overwhelming. People will say it gets better and becomes more bearable with time. It does, but right now you are in the center of grief and emptiness. Take time to breathe and continue to build a good friendship with this person. Whatever happens will happen. You do have others to consider, especially children. Take it slow. You are both grieving, but continue to build the friendship. It might be exactly what you both need. Story 70. I wouldn't do anything for about 6 more months from now. This gives you and your elder child time to grieve and see how things are. Then I would talk to my friend about how he would feel if you pursued her. After that, we can go from there. Avoid making major life decisions while in grief. Story 71. Time is relative. It all depends on how you feel. If you feel healthy enough to be in another relationship, then go for it. I see no point in waiting a specific amount of time. It's all about being happy with yourself first. Regarding your friend, if he is your true friend, he will want to see you happy, regardless of what happened between him and her. Story 72. So, what's the problem? Is it because she was a great friend to your wife? I think that's really special and almost like it's meant to be. Nobody in their right mind should say anything negative, and if they do, they shouldn't matter. Life is short. Make it worth your time here. Story 73. At this point, it's a little too soon to be dating. Give yourself some time before dating again. However, the fact that she is a friend of your wife is not a barrier. In fact, I think it is quite common. Story 74. Sorry for your loss. Be kind to yourself and take your time. Be mindful of your hurt and loneliness. Some people may never like or understand your choices. Just enjoy your moments together and see where it leads. If you are honest with her, she is probably feeling similar things about the situation. My wife and I were just discussing what ifs regarding what might happen if something were to occur to one of us. I told her that, in my case, I would likely have no interest in dating someone with whom I didn't already have some type of relationship, whether as friends or acquaintances. Story 75. If you have moved on from your wife, I would encourage you to pursue a new relationship. If not, take more time for yourself. From my perspective, your wife has passed away, and you are not obligated to mourn indefinitely. Additionally, she dated your friend 10 years ago. If he has not moved on by now, that is his issue. Story 76. You should do it. Don't listen to these people. You can let your friend know beforehand, but they will probably be cool with it. Go for it. Story 77. A couple of months doesn't seem all that long to process and grieve, but the only person who knows if you're ready is you. Even if it's just casual for now until you both are ready, I don't see any problem with it. As for your friend she dated a decade ago for a year, it's ancient history as far as relationships go. If he gets upset, that's on him. Story 78. Take things slow. Live your life. Be happy and grateful. Whatever happens, happens. Feel the emotions, but also remain open to what the universe presents to you. Celebrate and honor your late wife. My deepest condolences. Perhaps it is meant to be. Sounds like you two had a good connection. Story 79. It may be too soon for me to say, but I am not in the situation. She was a good friend of your wife. Your wife, whom you loved and trusted. Believe this woman was a good person and worth keeping around. I think your wife would approve if it makes you both happy. Regarding her being your friend's ex, that was a long time ago. However, if you want to remain friends, you should have a conversation with him as soon as, or maybe even before, you start dating. Story 80. Don't turn down an opportunity. However, be sure to discuss it with your friend before considering dating. It's just proper etiquette. Story 81. Your wife was looking for someone for you before she died? Sounds like a Hallmark movie. Buddy, you know those are make-believe. In real life, things usually don't go the way they do in the movies. However, I can see that you have already made up your mind about this, so I wish you all the best. Y truly do. Story 82. Just be friends with her and give yourself and your children some time to grieve. Don't rush into anything. Her being a friend of your wife is natural. I wouldn't give that a second thought. The situation with your friend is a little different, but I wouldn't dismiss her because of that. Just assume your friend would be okay with it and handle the consequences if he's not. That would be his problem, not yours. Story 83. Early 40s, attractive and amazing. You're being unreasonable and that's your ego talking. Never married because you couldn't find the right person? In the last 25 years? Really? She's either not well-adjusted or not someone who values relationships. Story 84. Sorry for your loss. I empathize with the situation you find yourself in. I won't tell you what to do, but I would like to point out some things you might consider. Have you and your children grieved properly? If you are unsure, give it time. You and the children need to feel it to heal it. Self-reflection and perspective from different viewpoints are essential. Have you heard the phrase, can't get out of your own way? This might be true if your new life situation has you convinced that there is only one option. Others outside the situation may see different possibilities. Consider whether these phrases apply to you. Let go of your initial thinking and ask yourself, if I did what I wanted to do, how would it look from my children's perspective? How would they feel about it? What would they think about me? Would they feel that I didn't love their mother because I'm trying to replace her? Would it seem selfish? You can make assumptions, but effective communication is necessary to move from assuming to making informed decisions. Be mindful that rash, uninformed decisions can adversely affect future relationships. Ask yourself if your feelings are authentic or if they stem from a trauma bond. Time heals, so allow space for everyone involved to heal. Familiarity doesn't necessarily mean it's best. But how would you know if you never gave it time? Your emotional process usually comes from experience. Not everyone in your family has had the same experiences, so avoid assuming they are on the same page. Be mindful of time. Time spent equals time invested, but it depends on what you choose to invest it in. This process may reveal that if you focus on others, it will clarify what is truly important to you. You may receive advice like, follow your heart, but I want to provide a counterpoint. I read somewhere that the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. In context, we as humans are meaning-making beings. When something happens, we assign meaning to it. Just ask anyone who reads a horoscope. No matter how vague the text may be, someone can derive meaning from it. If you truly want to be with this woman, regardless of the nature of the relationship, you will naturally rationalize your feelings. Then the phenomenon of selective attention may come into play, where your mind rewards you by noticing associations, like seeing your car everywhere after buying a new one. There are countless stories, myths, and warnings throughout history about a deceitful heart. Many tales emphasize the importance of removing emotions to think rationally. Men have gone mad listening to the sirens, as the story goes. The Trojan War was fought over love, resulting in the loss of many lives. Just be mindful when making decisions. As I mentioned, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I wanted to share some alternative perspectives for you to consider. I send my condolences to you and your family and wish you all healing during this time. All the best for the future. Story 85. Just keep in touch and maybe hang out a bit, but realize you are both grieving and likely reaching out to each other because of your common loss. You understand how the other feels. Do not test the waters. Just maintain the current situation and settle in a bit. Many people are advised not to make any significant life changes for at least a year after losing a loved one. While this may not be suitable for everyone, a year before seeking love again might be unrealistic. Just know that neither of you is in a great space right now, and one or both of you might be clinging to the closest thing you have left. Consider how, in the first 90 days of dating, everything seems perfect, but after about 3 months, those small annoyances that you can tolerate start to get to you. The reality of the situation sets in, the novelty fades, and you begin to think more clearly about it. I may be way off. I am by no means an expert. This is just 50 years of experience and learning from my mistakes. Good luck, and I am sorry for your loss. Story 86. Have you connected with her yet, or are you just considering it? All the good advice has already been shared here. There is nothing wrong with having fun and being intimate with the understanding that you are keeping it private. Do not make anything public and official until you know it is something more than a short-term fling. Story 87. No offense, but it sounds like you are looking for reassurance. The children will be happy either way, especially if you are happy. So, if this makes you and her happy, it will make your children happy too. The guilt is what will hold you back. Find reasons why you feel guilty and try to resolve them. I believe that if I had passed away, I would want my partner to find happiness with someone else, as should your friend who dated her. In short, if it makes you happy, go for it. If you are good enough friends, he will understand. Story 88. Just charm her and be a playful tease, creating a cat and mouse dynamic. Inevitably, things will happen, but take your time and be cautious in case she has unexpected reactions or if things don't go as planned. Story 89. As a person who lost my fiancé 3 months ago to leukemia, you haven't even started truly grieving yet. Unless your marriage was terrible, just wait until, well, you'll see. Do whatever you want. Just don't catch feelings. Something tells me you already have, though. Story 90. Do it, but take it slow. You're still processing your wife's death. As for your friend, if he can't be happy seeing that you're happy, especially after 10 years, maybe he isn't a good friend. Story 91. Maybe ask her about it. You are both adults and should be able to figure it out. I am pretty sure she understands since she is a friend of your late wife. It might still be awkward, but you can work through it. Story 92. Sorry for your loss. Regarding the attractive woman, I don't think any woman who is still single and never married at 40 is a suitable choice. She likely has some challenges. Even if she is the right one, I would suggest keeping it casual for a year or two. This way, you can get to know her better. Story 93. When my wife died, my barber Yoda gave me two vital pieces of advice. Don't remarry for at least a year and don't sell your house for at least a year. Not that I plan to do that anyway, but when your mind is clouded with grief, you should not be making life-changing decisions. Story 94. Do not listen to the part of your mind that says everything about her indicates compatibility. Having a good time on a date does not provide insight into a person's long-term potential, especially regarding their suitability in your young children's lives. Continue to remind yourself that your assessment is based solely on a fun date. Take your time to determine compatibility over time and in real life. Story 95. I will make it brief. Talk to your close friend about it. Ask him if there is something you should be aware of. On the other hand, life is too short to wait for new opportunities. Story 96. I'm not a man, but I think it is too soon to jump into anything. You are both probably still in the grief phase and seeking comfort, which is okay. However, grief can make things seem different than they are. Given the complicated history, this would be a significant step if you were to take it. The responsible thing for everyone involved, including your child and best friend, would be to hold off. Story 97. I'm not sure. Please take this with no offense, as I mean none while saying this, but from a logical standpoint, your wife won't come back, and there is no moral issue with getting with her best friend. Don't let something that happened 10 years ago with your friend affect your decision. From a religious standpoint, until death do us part, so you aren't breaking any religious instruction either. I don't believe you're disrespecting your wife either. Firstly, she's not here anymore, and it wouldn't be fair if you couldn't eventually be with someone else. I think it's more disrespectful if you were out sleeping around, but you're trying to find a solid woman to take on the role of mother for your children and a partner for yourself. One that your wife liked, trusted, and would probably be happy to know would take care of you and your children. Even if your wife could see you right now, she might be jealous, but at the end of the day, she has to understand that she has passed away, and her children need a mother while you need a partner. Why not go for someone she deemed her best friend? Plus, it seems like her best friend respected your relationship for years, showing a high level of respect for both you and your wife. If she was religious and is in heaven, Christians believe they move on from relationships. One thing's for certain. People are nosy and assume the worst. They may think you cheated on your wife, but if it's not true, go for it. Who cares? Nobody gets to have an opinion on your relationship status. It has nothing to do with them. If they do, just shut it down and say you aren't interested in hearing it. Story 98. I was with a girl for 4 years. She broke up with me and probably cheated on me. It made me a wreck. I reached out to a girl from my old job about a month and a half later, and things ended up getting intimate. I honestly still regret that to some extent. I was not in the right state of mind at that time and was acting out of grief and loneliness, which only made things worse in the end. I can't imagine what my mental state would have been had she passed away. Take some time for yourself. You might think you want something right now, but you don't really know exactly what you want. Once the haze clears a little, take another look her way and decide then. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.